Hey all, this is Urs. Welcome back to Long War. I gotta say, this is gonna be one of those weird post-hoc commentaries. This time I didn't forget to set the settings properly.
We are confident that you will
Instead, I just basically had my file get corrupted somehow, so I apologize for any jerkiness in the video or any weirdness like that. It's just gonna be a bit of a rebuilding episode. Let's go with that. But we have this council mission. It is basically a kill-em-all mission last time I checked. It should be relatively painless to handle. It's gonna look a little funny because we're gonna be stuttering at that.
We're heading into China for the next operation.
I'm not sure what happened actually with this particular video. I had to like rebuild the index. I had to try and convert it from the raw before it like completely collapsed on it. It was really weird. I don't know. Sometimes when you try to record, things get messed up. On the upshot, at least we still have the video, so you know what happened in the first half of the mission. And there was a lot that happened. Alright, Sky Ranger time. I love that, man. Sometimes those CGs, the way it approaches properly. That one in the dam is pretty cool. And yeah, Bradford actually is mysteriously silent right here. I don't know why. It was like that. Maybe it should have tipped me off. Maybe something's going to be wrong with the video, but whatever. No worries. Oh, we got the motion tracker. And what does motion tracker tell us? Nobody knows. Nothing. Basically, we're going to go through the building. That's the safest way to run through it. It'll keep us from taking vision on everything at once. If we're out in the middle, like here in the courtyard, it's just going to get us killed. The other building isn't very large, let's say, and the walls tend to fall down, then you're kind of like just another part of the courtyard. This one at least gives you a couple ways to block line of sight, and that way you can keep yourself in one piece. And stuff's gonna hit the fan pretty hard, as you'll see. It looks like we're working into like 2 or 3 packs practically. So it's gonna be a big fight from the get-go. And they already know we're here. Like you see those 2 peeking packs in the corner, like, I heard XCOM. This is gonna be a problem.
headed there.
Okay, we're gonna leave our frontliners up front for obvious reasons. Don't want to have to handle that with anyone else but that. And I think like the building tends to be very, very CQC oriented, more so than most. I mean, hit and run is good, but this is one of the few maps where I think close encounters is actually almost as good, if not better, than hit and run. You'll see there's a lot of full cover, like right next to itself, that people can hit behind, and it's actually pretty good to be able to not have to worry about flanking, in order to sit down and unload with the shotgun, and then you're still looking at like 80-90% if need be. So yeah, it's one of these maps. It gets to end up feeling kind of like a knife fight in a cupboard kind of thing. It's really knock them down, drag them out, especially when multiple packs hit you here. And it looks like we may try to avoid that from happening. When we see 2 packs on the radar, we'll try. In case something comes around, we're gonna leave our Rocketeer out here to cover that angle. And Escobar and Ray will drop in somewhere behind to do the same thing. Just make sure nothing comes out and hits us from the corner while we're getting prepped. Yeah, Ray, get yourself... Yeah, we're going to drop him in there for support in case there's a flashbang.
Understood, sir.
I want to leave him on Overwatch at least, so he's not just sitting there in the yellow suit. Bingo. And we'll see what comes through. If anything comes through the door, it's going to be a face full of pain. Hopefully it's not a Thin Man. We don't get ass all over our faces. And we all know what that lovely sound is. That would be an ethereal. Marvelous. Ah, here's sectoids. And sectoids ain't happy. Ugh. So 2 sectoid packs, basically. And mutons, and a couple other things. But the most dangerous thing is, again, we hear ethereal, which they've just been throwing them at us like every couple missions. It's really ridiculous how many ethereal we've killed already. The base game, like, you'd see an ethereal, be like, okay, well, that's the, like, one ethereal we saw. Great, he was in the Overseer. That's fun. And now just, like, ethereals everywhere.
Good to go.
In the store, in the gas station, in the convenience shop. Like, what the hell? No. Well, we know we got to deal with that guy, so that's going to be the big elephant in the room, so to speak. So we're going to save some ordnance for that. Meanwhile, dealing with all the other packs. Not going to be fun. Ethereals are never fun. Ethereals are the opposite of fun. Ethereals are like the one thing, even if you're well prepared, they can still kill you by accident. It's just, makes me shudder just thinking about it.
Solid copy, Commander.
And we're going to put Flying Bob in this left corner so he can sling a rocket through the door to kind of get a good angle if anything is kind of through the back window. It's one of the few ways you can actually use a Rocketeer through this room. Unless, you know, the wall in front of you goes down, but we're not going to blow it up ourselves. I could try to kinetic strike it down, but there's no point. I'd rather rush in and kill something and then it'll eventually burn down, you'll see. It's just... Once fire starts flinging in that room, just everything is pretty much gone. It's hilarious, too. It's called asset recovery, allegedly.
On the move.
I'm gonna be throwing heavy plasma rounds in, like, close-range corridors near telescopes. You know, never a good idea for the longevity of that scientific equipment, but whatever.
You hear that?
I did hear that. I also heard that, which is ethereal. That's so bad. I see 2 sectoids, ethereal. Ugh, not good. Alright, let's open up the door, see what we want. Now we heard floaters. And there we go. First pack. Heavy floaters. And a chrysalid for fun and spice. I haven't seen one of those in a long time. It's like, ooh, fun, a chrysalid. Yeah. They at least look pretty basic chrysalids. They shouldn't be too scary. It's not like Master Chrysalid or anything creepy like that. We'll just deal with it. But look at that alien compliment, huh? So we got 4 here that's spread out. There's a pack behind the window we might actually be able to spot. There's a pack in the corridor here. We don't want to see us, so I'm going to try to move into the room aggressively and take this pack down. Ideally not too far, lest we trigger the next one over. We're going to try to handle as many of these guys as possible without triggering the next pack, though it may be beyond our power to avoid doing so. Just because it's going to be close quarters, we're probably going to hit another one off, so we got to be used to get ready for that. We want to be able to drop the chrysalid too. Don't want it running around like aciding and poisoning people and hitting people for like 12 HP from close range. Never fun. Never good. And we can't get a rocket through right now because Reaper's in the way, so you know what? Let's just move Reaper up. We can probably handle the lid with just our assault. It'll be much a guaranteed way to handle it. So we'll leave Limelight to handle that, probably. And have Reaper come up and do the frontlining work that he's meant to do. And right now we're trying to figure out how best to deploy until we're ready. It looks like there's no avoiding triggering the second pack, so we're just going to rush in and see if we can eliminate as many heavy floaters as possible this turn. Because I think we're going to have more company very, very soon. The open door back there. We go, see? Yeah, I saw that open door. I'm like, we're going to see this pack, aren't we? And it is the Outsider and Sectoid Commander pack that they love throwing at us.
They've reached the control room. It doesn't look like they did too much damage.
They didn't do too much damage. We're about to fuck this place up, Shen. Sorry. I don't know. It'd be funny if you actually had a penalty for like blowing up the telescopes or something. It's technically supposed to recover the assets at this like alien research facility, but we are gonna literally leave the whole place burning. So I don't know how good of an asset recovery team we're gonna make. And the problem is with the rocket too, the aim is kind of limited. You have to kind of go exactly through the door. So we can't really use a rocket where we want it to go. Escobot could get on that corner, but stuff's a little too close quarters for that. Like I said, this map is tight, as you see. We have 2 packs, and they're all within like flanking, striking distance, which is very dangerous for you. Dangerous for the aliens too. I mean, obviously, you get easy flanks on them if you're not careful, but if you're still trying to file into the room, they already have presence, it can be pretty bad, which is kind of what the situation we're in right now, which I don't like very much. So right now we got to optimize very carefully where our shots are going to go and what we're going to shoot with, because we can't afford to get dropped or flanked early, because then we're going to have problems. And we have like 10 aliens up right now, and we're trying to avoid even more contact. So yeah, it's going to get nasty. And again, the shots are okay. We're saving the last shot. We can easily drop the chrysalid. It shouldn't be much of an issue. And we're going to try to flame the crap out of these heavy floaters so we can take them out of the fight for at least like 2 turns. I don't want to have to worry about him right now. I want to just, you know, leave them there. Don't let them work. It'll be okay. And then we'll handle the rest of the stuff and come back to the heavy floaters. So flamethrower is going to have to be the choice. We don't have, obviously, that much flexibility on what we do, because we already moved forward, and I think it's going to have to work that way. Outsiders don't panic, so we're going to try and take those down, you know, the hard way, so to speak. But I still think that dropping the flamethrower is going to be important. But since we have a solution for those, we should probably try to focus on damaging the rest of the ones that we're not going to get disabled. So right now we're trying to line up which ones we're going to disable, which ones we're going to flamethrow, and see what we need to do. And we're going to flamethrow first to see if the panics take hold. If they do take hold, then we will know we can not worry about them for a little bit. That's 1 heavy floater panicked, and 2 heavy floater panicked. Come on, there we are. Spoiler alert, he panicked. So we have 1 heavy floater left, and the rest are outsiders and a mind controller. So, yeah. Still not great odds for us, but, you know, we're going to move aggressively. Put Spike on the corner here. Spike got some good hit and run possibilities and some good hollow possibilities also. Especially the floating floater. You want to try and take out the enemies with grenades here because, or disable them, honestly. Yay. Free hit and run on the chrysalid because that is awesome. But yeah, you want to take out enemies with grenades here because the walls and the building in general is very, very destructible. And you don't want to suddenly lose your cover. And you're also very, very bunched up. So you don't want to let that grenade get thrown out there and then you're sitting there just getting absolutely wrecked. So the whole idea is get down, you know, mutons as priority targets. Get down heavy floaters as priority targets. Anything that can clear your cover. I mean, obviously stray shots can still clear your cover. It is plasma after all. But it's not like a guaranteed ass kicking like a grenade would do. It's quite dangerous here. You hear him saying, oh, 1 hit point, he survived. Let's use Mind Fray. Don't see him. Don't have a Mind Fray we can use. So sad. So we're going to have to figure out another clever way to deal with that bastard. Yeah, we're thinking maybe we can flashbang here to mitigate some more risk, but we're going to have to probably put as many active shooty type units in here as possible in order to keep this moving. And Plank Bob, I want a rocket to get off, but again, if I put him here, he may get flanked and then he's going to drop. Sugar's a little more tanky, but since we're pretty much all in Titan, and I'm really glad about that fact that we took this map while we were all equipped in Titan. That's going to help a lot on a CQC map like this. It's going to get nasty if we don't kind of push it. Because if we get shot or flanked, at least we'll have the hit points to handle it. Right now, apparently... Ah, yes, while I was recording, my dog decided to go bananas. I had to go let him in before the neighbors decided to try and kill me. So, that was that minor detail. But yes, for a mission like this, Titan is going to be critical. Just because you're going to take hits, you're going to take shots, and it's going to be much more comfortable as putting someone out there that's not an Aegis at like 12 hit points. Because imagine putting someone in Aegis out in that room right now. You wouldn't. It'd be crazy. It'd be insane, because you get 1 flank from an outsider and bang, there's your Aegis. Goodbye. Soldier down. It's not very good. But again, if I try to put Escobot in here, the problem is going to be that I'm not going to have even an angle into the room. If I put her on the corner, at least, I have eyes on the heavy floater. So really, it's difficult to get her in there. I want her kind of along that back wall near where Limelight is right now. But I can't really get her there because of the movement. So it's kind of a difficult choice to see who we commit into kind of the absolute meat grinder this room is going to become in very, very short order. I'm thinking I'm going to try and use Plank Bob to get that shot, that 1 damage shot in the Mind Fray. 78%. And I'm like, what about the shot? Pretty good. His aim is actually really, really good. But we're going to drop the Mind Fray instead.
Your nightmare.
And Plank Bob killing stuff with his brain. Oh yeah. Rocketeer. Don't need no rockets. So Ray can't get in a comfortable position for a flashbang. We can get in a position for a smoke, but here in close quarters, you probably don't want to smoke, actually. Because they're just going to run into your smoke and be like, okay, we're fine. So, yeah. You don't want to give them that advantage. Ideally, it would be a flashbang. Instead, Ray doesn't have the movement to make that feasible. So again, we're still thinking, what the heck? What the heck we're going to try to put in here in order to make this happen? And the idea is maybe I'll be able to pitch a grenade through that angled door there if we need to desperately. But Layla, I think Sugar's gonna need to use her grenades to break some of the cover so we can get at the outsider sitting behind the telescope and get at the sectoid commander who's out there. Freak him out a bit. So we're gonna start dropping some grenades here and see if we can't clear that cover up. I'm gonna do a little bit of damage. We're gonna clear a bit of this stuff. I didn't want to blow up the server rack or whatever the heck that is in front of the heavy floater right now because I was figuring I may use that cover at some point to advance up the room.
Frag out.
So So we're gonna toss that frag, try to get that cover cleared. We got the cover cleared off of that guy, but that telescope is durable. Let's just say it's durable. It's a sapper grenade, and that telescope's pretty much none the worse for wear. It's on fire. It's been plasma grenaded, and it's still going. They don't build them like they used to. I'm just saying that telescope, hard ass. Now I'm trying to think of the way to use in the zone best here, and in the zone is going to be critical. If we can get multiple kills with one unit, it'll be the way to knock these packs down before we start taking return fire in too bad of an order. Escobar's going to be the one to do it. The only uncovered enemies, though, are the mind controller, which is a minor issue because there's no way Escobar's getting that kill as it stands. So what I may do, exactly what I'm asking Ray to do, is to command Sugar. We can't see. We're going to toss another grenade down, hopefully get that freaking telescope down a bit, so we can get at that outsider at least and have a nice in-the-zone chain in that respect. So we're going to get Sugar to toss another wonderful high explosive and see if we can get that pack handled. There we go. Beautiful. So let's see. We're putting it a little closer to the telescope and a little closer to the outsider this time. Make sure he actually drops while still freaking out the sectoid commander a bit. And here's hoping that stargazing object finally goes down. Nope! We did kill the heavy floater. You saw the plasma blow up in the corner there. Got experience for that. But the outsider took barely any damage. Took only 5. And he's still at 3 hit points. It's ridiculous. That thing does not mess around. So obviously we still got a problem, and we still can't really do work on that sectoid commander much. It's not very good. And our shots with Limelight aren't very good. So what I'm going to do instead, in order to prevent them from trying to come up on a flank, is to overwatch that line on the corner. Make sure they don't move. And Escobar is going to need to move out somewhere. And I want her in the front line. Well, not really in the front line, but I want her out in the room so you can actually use her gun. Because right now she's completely stuck in that corner. And also if that pack comes around, there's another pack sitting in that courtyard area. And that hits us from the back. Then everyone in this back room is officially flanked. And that's really, really, really bad. So trying to get people out of there too, so we can deploy forward into the room. But that's like deploying into the lion's den as well. So this is a really difficult choice. And here I'm thinking, oh, maybe we'll shadow device everybody. They will all be safe and I can actually move in. But then I realized this may not be the best idea in the world, because Reaper is going to be taking the entire firing complement of the squad. And he's got a mech too. He's pretty tanky. He's at 32 hit points. He's pretty tanky already, but taking every single shot will drop him to like half or below. And I'm going to try to not to have to repair the mech after this mission. I only have 1 active mech suit. I can't really afford this one to go out of commission. So the problem is here, I mean, we could potentially go for this if we're lucky. We can get the shot and 80% crit, which is really, really high. But if we don't crit, if we don't hit, then our sniper's dead. And again, do we shadow device now? Do we do the oh shit button? And we could, but again, then Reaper's gonna be the target of every single shot. So I think actually spreading out the damage, giving them multiple targets to shoot at would be better for long-term survivability of the team. Which is weird sometimes. It's a weird decision to make, but it does work. But now, look, hey, that pack in the courtyard, they just ran into the room. Because screw you, says XCOM, and here's a giant muton with 30 hit points. Just to make your life unpleasant. Overwatch misses because the Seeker ran in on us, which I'm really sad about, actually. I probably should have hit that. It's not very far. And now, we have no real Overwatches for the flanks that may be coming around. Luckily, Sectoid Commander's not very happy with us. He's going to come back into that room and be like, I'm going to die, so I'm going to suppress you instead. Which is weird, but okay.
Within acceptable
7 damage. Luckily for the DR, otherwise it would have been worse. But that's a big shot from the outsider. They're starting to get more accurate and do more damage. I'm not very happy about that. They're already dangerous.
Hostiles targeting my position.
Luckily, Reaper can dodge pretty well.
Systems are holding.
Except for that one. He took 4 to the face. But he's tanking up pretty hard. Luckily, that's all the shots it's really going to take, I think. Or he might take 1 more. I don't remember. I think that's it. And the guy behind the telescope is just like, oh, this hurts, but I'm healing. So again, we're kind of behind the 8 ball. Most of the enemies here regenerate. Most of the dangerous ones. The outsiders and Sectoid Commander regenerate. The rest aren't so bad. The muton's going to be a problem because, guess what? he definitely brings a grenade, and he can clear like this entire room and basically destroy all these full cover positions we have back here. It's really, really bad, so he needs to go down. This is not a good position right now, because the other thing you gotta remember, the heavy floater is gonna come out of panic this turn, so we have to deal with him too, and make sure he doesn't do what he wants to do, which is run up, flank us, or grenade us, and that's gonna be really bad. So we gotta think of a solution for all these things while another pack hit us from the side. It's not good. Right now I'm kind of going, this sucks. We're trying to figure out why our aim is so bad, and we're like, oh wait, that's right. We're suppressed. Derp. He's got 12 defense, so I'm guessing it's some kind of bizarre bastardized tac sense kind of thing going on. Or part of his equipment. But, yeah. So guess what? When all else fails, get grenades. Because grenades, if anything else, they will clear up suppression. They will clear up suppression like a mofo.
Eat this.
And it's going to be good. Then we're going to have Reaper unload 2 rounds of highly charged pulse cannon shot on that Muton and hopefully get him down. Now, we're going to count on Escobar to 80% crit. 100% chance to hit. This should be a dead outsider. Easy. But we roll a 10, non-crit, and he DRs 1 off. So that sucked. I mean, basically, we were rolling an 80% there to crit and kill the guy, and we missed the 80% roll, which is really sad. Because now I was counting on Escobar to really, really drop bodies here, and we're going to have trouble. So we're going to drop that outsider, move into a position, and drop the mind controller. And that would have been a good day's work. And you notice there's also a floater out there ready to flank Dane, but we don't really have much choice right now. We're going to have to probably watch Dane take a crit. I need to deal with what's in the room so we can move most of the units into the room and keep them safe. It's not a good position right now, especially since that 80% crit didn't go off. It's bad. And there's so much opposition in this room, too. It's freaking scary. We're going to probably need to depend on Spike to get some good shots in. We could probably get a hit and run there, move over and kill the outsider with the other hit and run. If I remember correctly, that's what I wanted to do. Yeah, there we go. Bingo. Nice 10 damage. Spike is definitely shooting pretty hot today. Get Spike on the corner on the invincible yet burning telescope, which is just really bizarre. That thing really is invincible. Got an 84, which we need to connect. We need to connect. And it does. 12 crit. That's how you do it. So 1 outsider down, 3 more to go, and a pretty considerable enemy complement still in the offing regardless. So again, we're not close enough to hit the flamethrower, which could panic the Muton and keep the heavy floater panicked as well. But we also want to try to kill the damn thing at some point, which would be, oh gee, I don't know, pretty important. So I'm trying to decide what the hell to do. I might take 1 shot with Reaper and then probably flame the heavy floater for kicks, assuming we can drop the Muton with some good shooting. And I think we can. I think we have enough units to do that with, but we're going to be rolling pretty tight here. And again, that rocket's not very useful to us, even with the slightly more, what would you call it? On fire? I don't want to use the word on fire. I was going to try to find something more erudite to say, but no, I think even with all the cover blown, everything's on fire, the rocket still can't just weave its way through, mainly because of the telescope, which I honestly thought wouldn't be there at this point. But this is what I mean why close encounters is very, very powerful here. You can't really get flanks easily in this room, but you can get close encounters through full cover, and proximity is its own source of aim bonus for shotguns. And unfortunately, yet again, survives with 1 hit point. These outsiders are becoming a serious menace to society. Like, really, to human society, because we're getting our asses kicked. It's ridiculous. These floaters are insane. I mean, floaters, outsiders, they just will not die. And again, now my action depends on what happens here. If I get this kill with Limelight, then we can do our strategy of shooting the Muton and flaming up the heavy floater for another couple rounds of panic. If the Limelight kill doesn't go off, it's going to be bad. And our luck hasn't been very, very good this entire mission. We've been, getting low rolls, not critting on a near guarantee. We've been, hitting low rolls again there. That thing should have killed him, but it took minimum roll and he DR'd 1 off, so he still survived. So really, really kind of bad luck. And here you can see, in order to get the Muton and the flamethrower, we need to move up 2 more tiles. But again, that would burn off my movement, and I'm banking on the fact I can drop the Muton and flame the heavy floater without too much issue. So it's gonna be, this is the critical time. We need to make sure these shots connect. and we're going to depend on Plank Bob to come in. So I remembered his aim was really good. I'm like, I think we can use him to shoot the Muton. We should be okay. It all depends on Limelight getting this outsider down, because then the crit flanks won't be there. If we can get him down, we can deploy in and not be too concerned about it. So Plant Bob's going to have to man up without his rockets, with his little storm gun, and just absolutely go to town. And I'm saying, we're checking the damage reduction. I mean, we're trying to heal people. Like, it's a tough fight right now. And there's not a lot of good things. I mean, not a lot of things going right for us. So we'll hopefully try to make that turn around a bit. It's a pretty tough mission. It's a lot of packs on a pretty small map in general. The map's not tiny, granted. It's a whole other space. And there's the kill. Limelight delivering with the best of them. But there's a whole nother, like, area of this map that you can go through, like those double height containers back there, the shed and the other building. But I find that no matter what particular mission happens, I always end up getting stuck in a building with every pack converging on me. Maybe because I always go to this building, but it's also the most tactically advantageous building. It kind of blocks off a lot of the sight lines to the rest of the map, so I don't know. It's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. We just got to deal with this nasty position. And Dane is definitely going to get hit in the face pretty hard. We got to get Ray out of there too, because Ray's going to get chunked up. And now it's going to all depend on Plank Bob and Reaper to make some kills happen. And Ray, I mean, you can flashbang that guy, but I wouldn't depend on that. I'd rather get Ray in the room and start working on the main enemies here. Just want to go Reaper. Don't screw this up. Don't screw this up. He doesn't screw it up. 13 crit to the Muton's face. Leaves him with 7 hit points. And I think we're going to go and try to get some work done with Ray and Plank Bob now. So I'm depending who to put in half cover, and I'm thinking I'm going to put Plank Bob in full cover and Ray in half cover. So Ray takes some shots to the face. He can run away and medkit himself up, and he'll be okay. And we're not going to be depending on him for rockets or doing anything else practically except just healing people up. Look at that. 94% on Plank Bob. It's amazing. Goodbye.
Hostile eliminated.
7 on the nosy. Kills the Muton. Just the way we needed. And that was huge. That's one other grenade we don't have to worry about clearing our cover, and that's very, very important. Without that, we are potentially opening ourselves up to a lot of crits. And now we flamethrowed again. Flamethrowed? Flamethrowed. Sounds like a 2-year-old. We flamethrowed, Daddy! We've flamethrowed again. We see the guy on Overwatch there, which is really annoying. But we're also gonna, in case that panic didn't stack, I was getting very paranoid at this point. I'm gonna flashbang this guy to make sure that panic stays, and if it doesn't stay, that his aim and his grenade tossing range suck. He disoriented and panicked, and it does look like the panic stayed, so it does stack properly.
Hostiles are losing ground.
Game mechanics can be weird. I wasn't sure. I've never actually had to back-to-back flamethrow something before, so this is a new learning experience for me. Usually I tend to spread that out. And there's the 9 crit for Dane, but Dane's a freaking beast. 100% panic resist success, no worries. The Seeker decides to go in stealth because, I don't know, Seeker. And we hear things running through another building. So we know they're in the other building that we didn't go into. And they be coming around on us just like the other pack did. Even more so, which is not safe. Not muy bueno.
Notify engineering of possible repairs.
And Reaper constantly getting shot in the face. He's got 1 dodge so far in 3 connections, so he's not doing great. We're going to need some battle computers and some higher level mechs pretty soon, honestly. The enemy complement's getting scary, and the mech suits are not durable enough to handle it. They're doing okay, but he's taking a lot of shots. And that guy decided to stay out there for some reason, trying to go for the flank or something. And both of the enemies are starting to kind of, I want to say lose ground, but they're sitting back a bit, covering themselves behind the wall, and trying to get their hit points up before they drop completely. But there's not a lot of good options right now. We got to get completely into the room now, so the pack that's coming around through the other building doesn't hit us from the side and get like 70 flanks on us, no problem. So that'd be awful. We do have a nice potential in the zone shot from Escobar. It's just we need to whittle that guy down a bit because he's still got a lot of hit points. He's got 15, so we need to do some damage to get him eliminated. And Spike, unfortunately, is out of round. Spike would have been perfect for this. But again, you know, sometimes you just don't have the guns you need. Reaper's got a 62 on that guy, but again, it's not a guarantee, and we don't want to blow out that wall lest we take vision to the courtyard. Not a lot of great options here. We could guarantee some damage with a grenade. But I want to save the grenade for when I actually want to clear cover. Granted, we do have PK Strike on Dane, which gives a little more flexibility with how we deploy our high explosives. But then, of course, we also have Plank Bob, and his aim has been freaking on point this entire mission. And we can get him in there, do some preliminary damage, drop that outsider, and not worry about stuff. So that'd be really, really... That would just make my day, honestly. So, Plank Bob, 89%, 7 damage, come on. Oh yeah, 10 crit. 10 crit on that Storm Gun. I gotta say, that Storm Gun's a magical little gun. It does wonders. And this is now an absolutely guaranteed kill. Doesn't matter if we crit, we can at least get the bastard, no matter what happens.
Eliminado.
Woohoo! Right in the face, 19 crit. See, where was that last time? That would have been really handy, huh? And now, we gotta figure out what to do next. We can flush that fellow, and when he's panicked, he should still move when he's flushed.
Moving out.
And disorientation will prevent him running outside the door. Probably gonna take that one on. But this is the point when I'm like, alright, we're starting to make tracks, starting to settle down here a little bit, and we're gonna have to really tie up loose ends and make sure nothing else kind of comes around and hits us while we're dealing with the remains of these 3 packs that hit us at once. So, I hope you enjoyed this kind of post-hoc commentary. It's a little weird, I didn't expect it. Hopefully the video's not too jerky. I'm gonna try to smooth it out a little bit too. And I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all next time, hopefully with a corrected video and normal recording time. And I will see you all next time on the Long War. Till then.